A brand new series is coming to Disney Plus, brought to life by Marvel Studios Animation. Set in the universe we first explored in What If, it follows the survival adventures of the few remaining heroes and Avengers, who must fight off the infected and search for a cure. In this video, we'll recap and introduce everything you need to fully enjoy this 4-episode miniseries. But first, we'll do a quick refresher of the What If episode that started it all, just to warm up and get our minds ready for blood, guts, action, and chaos. Because this is Marvel Zombies. Episode 5 of Season 1 of What If is Marvel Zombies.
What if?
It all kicks off with a short intro from the Watcher, who explains that the zombie outbreak started with Hope Van Dyne and her father, Hank Pym, during their mission to rescue Janet Van Dyne from the quantum realm. This is the same storyline from Ant-Man and the Wasp, but unlike the movie, everything goes horribly wrong when Hank thinks he's finally found his wife, only to look into her eyes and realize she's a decaying zombie, no longer the woman he once loved. When they return to the normal world, Janet tries to check that everything went well, but her parents step off the ship already transformed into zombies. She manages to dodge them, but Scott isn't so lucky, becoming the first victim of this universe. We then jump forward in time. The zombie infection sweeps through the entire city. Suddenly, in true superhero fashion, the Avengers show up to save the day. Unfortunately, they can't do much against the massive horde and are quickly overwhelmed, taking with them what was believed to be the world's last hope. Weeks later, Bruce Banner makes his entrance, just like in Avengers: Infinity War, crashing through the roof of the Sanctum Sanctorum to warn everyone that Thanos is coming, but no one shows up to help. Nervously, he steps outside and finds the streets completely deserted. Believing the destruction is Thanos' doing, he regrets showing up too late. Moments later, Thanos' children, Ebony Maw and Cull Obsidian, arrive to deliver their usual speech, only this time, Banner is the only one listening. He's helpless, unable to transform into the Hulk, and panics until a small portal opens behind the villains, and a familiar hand fires a repulsor blast. The Black Order is caught off guard when Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Wong make their heroic entrance. Banner's relief is short-lived though, when he sees them not fighting, but tearing apart and devouring the villains. When the dust settles, the worst is confirmed. They're zombies too. Banner tries to escape, but between the portals and Strange's magic, it's a losing battle.
Whoa!
Just as he's about to be finished off, Wasp and Spider-Man swoop in and save him, explaining that they're part of the last group of survivors still resisting the chaos. The tone shifts as Peter Parker films a blog-style survival guide for the zombie apocalypse.
Safe with them! With the giant ants? Who are you?
All that's left.
Don't eat me, don't eat me, don't eat me, don't eat me, don't eat me.
Relax. I'm just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Oh yeah?
Using Happy Hogan and Sharon Carter as examples. One by one, the rest of the survivors are revealed: Okoye of the Dora Milaje, Bucky Barnes, and Kurt Scott Lang's friend, but their moment of levity is cut short when they pick up a signal from a possible cure. They decode the message and discover it's coming from the very first SHIELD base. The group heads to Camp Lehigh, New Jersey, traveling by train, but before they can leave, eerie noises echo in the dark. Suddenly, a harpoon strikes Happy, dragging him to his death. After a tense silence, a zombified Hawkeye appears. With teamwork and some well-placed shots, they manage to take down the once-beloved Avenger. With Spider-Man's webbing helping to keep the train moving, they make their way to New Jersey, only to face a new nightmare: Captain America, Steve Rogers himself, now turned zombie. His first victim is Sharon Carter, who only has time to scream a warning to Bucky before she's gone. Bucky, wielding the shield, slices Cap in half, ending the threat, but Sharon, now turned, attacks the group, forcing Hope to shrink down, fly into her body, and make her explode from the inside in one of the most shocking moments of the episode. but it's not a complete victory. Before dying, zombie Sharon manages to scratch Hope's arm, leaving her with little time to find a cure. When they reach the outskirts of the base, they face another challenge, an enormous horde of zombies surrounding the entire area. Escape or entry seems impossible until Wasp sacrifices herself, growing giant size to carry her friends through the swarm. When they finally make it, she gently sets them down and surrenders to the infected, disappearing under the mob. Inside the base, the group meets a surprising ally, Vision. He explains that using the Mind Stone, he's been able to keep the zombies away, creating a safe zone. Not only that, but the stone's energy has allowed him to reverse the infection, something he demonstrates with Scott Lang's still living head, who cracks jokes to cope with the horror of his condition. Vision tells them that to spread the cure globally, they'd need a satellite or a way to amplify the Mind Stone's power enough to wipe out the virus all at once. The tragedy: no such technology exists. Not there, not anywhere else in the world. Okoye cuts him off, reminding everyone that Wakanda is the most technologically advanced nation on Earth and one of the safest places on the planet. With its resources, they could build any device or tool needed to solve the crisis. And just like that, the group has a new mission: get to Wakanda with Vision and finally put an end to the zombie nightmare. Bucky decides to scout the area for a car or some kind of transport to get them there, but Vision, visibly uneasy, advises against it, warning him he might find something worse. Bucky ignores him and presses on, finding a room full of clothing and belongings that look like they once belonged to other people. Disturbed, he keeps moving into the shadows until he hears a faint, pained voice. Pulling back a curtain, he discovers T'Challa, Black Panther, gravely injured and missing a leg. As Bucky tries to help him, he asks what happened, but T'Challa, terrified, just begs him to keep his voice down, warning that they might wake her. We cut back to the group with Vision. Spider-Man starts to notice something's off. Vision's signal had been intercepted and answered by other survivors. The others begin questioning him, suspecting he's been hiding the truth about what's really going on. Just then, Bucky returns with T'Challa, revealing that Vision has been luring people here as bait. Vision apologizes and explains he had one reason for doing all of this: to contain someone very specific, Scarlet Witch, who hasn't fed in days. Suddenly, the doors blast open, filling the room with an eerie red glow. She's here. Using her magic, Wanda seizes Kurt, who screams hysterically, chanting that Baba Yaga has arrived. The team tries to fight her, but it's hopeless. The combination of her chaos magic and ravenous hunger is unstoppable. At their pleas for help, Vision finally steps in, firing a beam from the Mind Stone straight through the ceiling, giving the others a way out. Everyone manages to escape, except Okoye, who's captured by Wanda, a devastating loss for the team. In one final act of redemption, Vision uses his powers to collapse the entire base, burying Scarlet Witch under tons of rubble. Acknowledging his mistakes, Vision tells the survivors that all they truly need is the Mind Stone. Apologizing for the horrific things he's done in the name of love, he rips the stone from his own forehead, ending his life and handing the Avengers one of their most powerful weapons. But with Vision gone, the protective barrier around the base fails, allowing the zombies to swarm in and Wanda to claw her way out of the wreckage. With no other option, Bucky sacrifices himself to distract her, just long enough for the others to find a Quinjet and take off for Wakanda. His bravery only buys them seconds before Wanda flings him across the battlefield. The Scarlet Witch then uses her magic to drag the Quinjet back down, along with an army of zombies, nearly dooming them. That's when Bruce Banner calmly steps forward, saying he'll buy them as much time as he can. Finally managing to transform into the Hulk, he takes on the most powerful threat they've faced yet. While the others escape, this becomes the presumed final stand of both Bruce Banner and the Hulk. Aboard the Quinjet, nearing Wakanda, Peter gives an emotional speech, urging everyone not to give up. They're too close to restoring the world and saving their friends. Only 3 survivors remain. Spider-Man, Scott's still living head, and the King of Wakanda, everything seems to be heading toward a hopeful ending, until we cut ahead to Wakanda, where the truth is revealed. The future is anything but bright. Standing there is none other than Thanos, now a zombie, wielding 5 of the 6 Infinity Stones. It's a shocking and ominous cliffhanger for our Avengers.
Even if it might bring an end to the universe.
And now, after this recap, we can dive into what we've seen in the new series, fresh allies, new villains, and familiar faces from past MCU films and shows. Among them are characters who hadn't appeared before, including Shang-Chi, Yelena Belova, Miss Marvel, Red Guardian, Blade, taking up the mantle of Moon Knight, and the mighty Thor. The zombie ranks have also grown, featuring Abomination, Icarus from Eternals, what looks like a brief glimpse of Hercules, Namor, Ghost, and even Captain Marvel. Across the trailers, we see that the main storyline revolves around surviving endless zombie hordes, who seem to be under the control of Wanda Maximoff. This series appears to be a direct continuation of Episode 3 of Season 1 of What If. The last time we saw this universe, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Ant-Man were on their way to Wakanda, unaware that the nation had already fallen to a zombified Thanos, wielding 5 Infinity Stones. We also saw a brief zombie appearance in the final battle of the multiversal Avengers against Infinity Ultron, when Doctor Strange opened a portal, unleashing a flood of infected, Scarlet Witch included, to distract him, but even she wasn't a match for Ultron, seemingly meeting her end there. According to the new trailers, however, she survived, and will be one of the main villains of the entire series. The show is packed with nods and references, not only to the What If episode, but also to the comic series it draws inspiration from. Written by Robert Kirkman, with art by Sean Phillips, the original Marvel Zombies miniseries ran from December 2005 to April 2006. In the comics, the virus only affected metahumans, stripping them of their humanity, but leaving their minds intact. This meant they could use both their powers and intelligence, focused entirely on their constant hunger for flesh. The animated series, however, takes plenty of creative liberties, using the name, but crafting a story that fits into the MCU's own continuity. The trailers make it clear that Wanda Maximoff didn't die in her fight with Ultron. She now leads the zombie hordes, whose glowing red eyes and frightening coordination hint at a new level of intelligence. But hope isn't lost. New Avengers are joining the fight. Red Guardian, a super soldier rivaling Captain America's strength, Yelena Belova, an elite hand-to-hand fighter, Shang-Chi, who now wields the 10 rings with overwhelming power, and Miss Marvel, whose versatile abilities will help the team survive. And as the ultimate twist, we finally get Blade, not just any Blade, but a version empowered by the moon itself, carrying the mantle of Khonshu. This boosts both his senses and vampiric abilities. One of the most epic trailer moments shows him facing off against Zombie Ghost in a brutal sword fight. We also see the return of zombies we thought were gone for good, Iron Man in full armor, and Captain America, who not only returns but looks even stronger. This all seems to have an explanation. Thanos himself is using the Infinity Stones to create more zombies. Interestingly, these zombies don't have the glowing red eyes, hinting that there may be 2 big bads this season, Wanda with her army, and Thanos, the Mad Titan, now undead and nearly unstoppable. The heroes have more obstacles than ever, and if they want to save the world, they'll have to survive long enough to even try.
Marvel Zombies, rated TV MA, streaming September 20th.